Gary Nickerson.
And I'm Quinn Taggart.
And this is Outside My Window.
YCON is a nonprofit organization which aims to support the gaming community, game developers, and stores by providing demonstration services for board, card, and role-playing games. It's an all-ages event, and we make every effort, of course, to provide games that are appropriate for younger gamers. As proud members of our community, we're pleased to support worthwhile charities in the Yarmouth and the surrounding area. We caught up with Malcolm Seaboyer, President and Marketing Coordinator, at a recent event in order to chat about this year's YCON. So Malcolm, for this year's YCON, you've got a change of venue.
Yes, we do. And it's so great it's kind of funny to be doing this interview right in the arena as we speak right now. So we're at the Mariner Center this year, May 31st to June 2nd. So brand new venue for us. I'd like to give a quick shout out again to where we started, the Rod Grand, where we started in 2019, brought it back in 2022 and 23, for hosting us to grow. And if you're coming from away for YCON, they've got a great room rate too you can take advantage of. So, but back to the Mariner Center we're ready. We felt ready to take the leap to the bigger arena. We've got a lot more space this year. We've got more vendors. We're excited to align with the Mariner Center Play, Connect, Entertain branding and YCON's branding of trying to build community through play. So that's exciting. There's been many questions about, is the canteen going to be open? Everybody loves the rink fries. So yes, the canteen will be open. You'll be able to get your poutine and gaming food on and check out all the vendors, cosplay, gaming, a lot of the same stuff, but there's some new stuff I'm sure we'll chat about too. Coming to YCON, new programming, new events. So 2024 is rocking and rolling. Can't wait.
And for those that love to just stick with what they know, there's a lot of things, of course, that aren't changing. You still got the gaming,
Yep.
You still got the comics and your vendors and
Yep.
so on. You're still going to have the costume contest?
Yes. That's a huge portion of our event and so popular. I'm so excited to see it this year on the main stage in the arena where the floor plan for us is really exciting this year. It's hard to describe over audio what it'll be, but I feel like it'll be a very inclusive arena and very engaging experience for everybody to be able to keep an eye on what's going on at the same time. Cosplay is going to be on the Saturday. 6 o'clock will be the runway. Before that, there's prejudging where people get, you judged by some judges beforehand. So you're not judged publicly on the stage for your, that's about going up and having a fun time. I've seen so many people build confidence through cosplay and being able to walk across the stage. They can't do that, before YCON. Maybe this is where they build some confidence. So yeah, cosplay will be back. Video game tournaments will be back. Dungeons and Dragons, vendors, more vendors than before. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
And of course, anybody that's been to the Mariner Center has seen the big screen on the wall.
Yep.
That's going to factor into your finals, is it not?
It sure is. That big screen will be very uniquely used, I think, throughout the weekend. We have everything from board gaming to panels on the main stage with the screen. We have video games on that big, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know how many inches that is. Probably, 200-inch screen. So you'll be able to watch Smash finals, Mario Kart finals on that. It's going to be really cool.
And we're still, of course, going to be able to live stream some of the events too?
Yeah, there will be some things that are going to be live streamed. We want everybody to come out and check it out. So you won't be able to watch everything on a live stream. We want you to come in person to see the event. But there will be a few things, if you can't make it out, to watch online.
Now, that's one thing. People still think in their head that if you're live streaming, that it's going to affect attendance. But, there's nothing like being here live.
You've got to be in here in person for this. This is an engaging community event that's absolutely you got to be here in person for. Absolutely.
Anybody that's ever been to a hockey game live versus watching it on TV has got to admit, yeah, okay, being at home and watching it on TV, you get the instant replays and you get, the different angles and the close-ups and all that stuff. But the atmosphere alone of just being in a live event.
It's really, like you said, like a hockey arena. That's going to be the feel that we're trying to go for, like that sports arena. Esports is growing so big for the Sunday finals. You'll be able to watch live D&D as well on Saturday night. That'll be really cool. Watch that. That is going to be hilarious. Our gaming coordinator, Matt Hiltz, has a hilarious D&D session planned where the players play as goblins on the stage. and it's just hilarity waiting to happen. We wanted to really give each facet of the convention its own spotlight on the stage. So there'll be a board game, there'll be video games, cosplay, panels. It'll be awesome.
Now, for those that are wondering, do you have a layout yet of how the weekend's going to flow?
We've kind of got a loose breakdown right now that I can share. The eventual schedule will be on YarmouthCon.com. You can go watch for that there. But Friday night is going to be the kickoff night. We've got Smash Bros, and now we're doing doubles Friday night, so that's 2v2, a team competition. That'll be cool. We open the doors at 5:30 and 5 o'clock to VIP attendees. We also have a chess tournament Friday night, which is going to be brand new. So if you're interested in chess, there's still time to sign up for that. So that's a new event. All the vendors will be open. That's your first chance to, if you see that shiny toy you want, don't wait. It might not be there Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, don't second guess yourself on that kind of stuff.
I have such a funny story that I'll say about vendors that I'll share too. Is there's going to be so many cool items this year. There's more vendors. We got 40 plus. We have people that are doing 3D printing, board games, art, guests this year. We'll get to that in a bit, but we also have our returning from 2023 Best Vendor Award, which was Chris Rogers Woodwork. He does incredible signs.
Oh yeah, his stuff was fantastic.
Awesome. I really wanted a Ferrari shield from him all weekend last year, all weekend. And I hummed and hawed, and I was busy, with the convention. I hummed and hawed, and I went back and Sunday, and he's like, "I sold it." I was like, "Oh man, I waited." And I was like, "Well, oh well, maybe he'll make another one for next year." But then we fast forward to Christmas 2023. My girlfriend Michelle, a quick shout out to her. She was the one that snagged it.
Nice.
And I found it under the tree Christmas 2023 for this huge Ferrari shield because I'm a huge F1 fan. Anyways, so the vendors are going to be just really, really cool. There's something for everyone this year. Some new vendors, some old returning faces. We have On Spec Magazine, which is coming from Ontario, which is really cool. So yeah, the vendors will be filled up, and save up now. It'll be awesome.
For those that are just starting to kind of get into, this genre of entertainment, I'll classify it as entertainment. Yep. What are some hints? Who would you recommend to pick to as far as your vendors go? Which panelists would you recommend that they gotta see in order to really kind of drive home, their interests?
Yeah, there's so many amazing interests. I would recommend, start with maybe some of the artists. Those are people that can do commissions on site, and then they can tailor their artwork towards what you're interested in. So let's say you're into Sailor Moon. That's your thing, and go to an artist and say, "Hey, can you make a Sailor Moon commission?" And they might work on it the whole weekend for you. And then that's your thing. That's your personalized item. That's really cool. We've got some people that have been with us right from 2019, which is My Nature's Element. That's a really cool business. They do crystals, stones, and that's a local one. They'll be back. We have, Chris Rogers Woodwork. He's been here since 2022. He'll be returning. Nathan's Salmon Spray Painting Art is a new vendor. Very cool stuff. We're excited to have him on board. I mean, the vendors are wild. Keep an eye on our Facebook page and website. There's going to be a long list of them, and you won't want to miss any of them.
Well, and that's where social media can come into play as well, is that if you go through your vendor list and you say, I wonder if that'll be something I'll be interested in, they likely have social media.
Absolutely. Keep an eye on our website, and then there could be social media links. You could, if you're interested in an item, you could even pre-order it, say, hey, for example, let's say Lancelot Games. He's an awesome board game store in Blockhouse, and you've wanted that hard to find board game. You could be like, hey, I'm going to YCON. Can you bring it down with you? And I'll pre-buy it. Look those people up, make the connections before. All the vendors are so awesome. Everybody's got a unique character, every unique personality, right? And some of them are going to be in cosplay too, which coming back to the schedule. So cosplay will be back on the Saturday. That's kind of our big staple Saturday event. Saturday is filled with panels, and it is awesome. There are panels like a sketch duel. There's Maritime Ghostbusters are returning. They're going to do a panel on proton packs. That's hilarious. Nick Doucette has a planned panel on Tetris, competitive Tetris, which is very interesting.
I have watched some of that on TV.
It is crazy.
Unreal to watch.
So the panels are going to be very unique. There's going to be some side room panels too. Dean Martin, our vendor and sponsorship coordinator, is coming back with another panel on RPG world building. Friday night there is a Star Wars how to collect panel, like Star Wars collectors panel. Our photographer, Michael Cardy, is going to plan on doing a cosplay photography workshop on stage too. There's a little something for everyone, and it's going to be really, really cool. So Saturday's filled with panels, filled with games. Some of the big tournaments will start Saturday. Smash Bros is super popular. That'll start with round robins on Saturday. Same with Mario Kart. There will be a Pokemon TCG tournament again. So if you're into that. And one of the big things we've put in this year was our game running program. So the game runner program is where you can sign up to host games during the convention and get exclusive benefits, which is really cool. If you're really passionate about a certain game, sign up and host that and meet new players that are in your community and like that same game. So you can go to gaming.yarmouthcon.com and see a whole list of pre-scheduled games that you can book and be like, I'm going to play Wingspan, let's say, at 2 p.m. and that's my game. And there's a whole bunch of them. There's RPGs, there's D&D, there's board games. I mean, Saturday is the big day. It's open from 10:30 to 11 p.m. So definitely a big day. Lots going on. Then coming back to Sunday, final day of the con, there will be the video game finals for Mario Kart and Smash. Sunday will also wrap up with a raffle auction. We've been debating the auction format. It might be raffle, it might be live style. I don't know. There'll be some sort of auction wrapping up Sunday. There's going to be so many cool items in that. And this year our proceeds are going to the Libraries Adopt a Book program. That's our chosen charity choice this year, which is great to see. Sunday will also finish the Miniature Painting Awards. And those are creative works of art. People will be able to also enjoy. Sandra and Grace Kinsley are going to be running a painting camp all weekend. You can sit down and learn how to paint miniatures, maybe make an entry in the competition. You can pick their brains. Sandra and Grace are incredible. They've been award-winning miniature painters from around the world, and they are in the community. Highly recommend checking out what they're doing. Sunday's the last day to shop too. So, like I said, don't let the shiny, cool item in the vendor booth go until Sunday.
That's right. That's right. Get in
early. It might not be there. That's a little brief overview of the con. What else is happening Sunday? Right. And Nick would hate me if I didn't mention this, is speed puzzles. Speed puzzles are, I'd never heard of it before.
Yes.
We've got speed puzzle competition coming in this year, and that's sponsored by Gatorbyte Computers. So shout out to them. Thanks for helping out with that. So you get a 500-piece Ravensburger puzzle or similar brand, and you get 90 minutes to build as much as you can.
Singularly as a team?
All options, actually. There you can do singles, pairs, which is 2 people, and then there's a teams competition. So you can do all of them if you want. Singles is at 10 to 12 on Sunday, pairs is 12 to 2, and teams is 2 to 4. So you could have a whole day of building puzzles on Sunday as quick as you can. The teams puzzle, you get 10 extra minutes, but it's 1,000 pieces.
Wow.
And if you don't finish the puzzle, the winner is determined by whoever gets the most pieces correctly put together at a minimum of 3 put together correctly. It can't just be 2 together. That doesn't count. There are incredibly technical rules to this, and I had no idea. You can only use certain boxes. You can only have like 2 trays. Your mat can only be so big. It's crazy. So speed puzzling is brand new at this year's convention. You can book that on our website too, and gaming.yarmouthcon.com.
I've seen some of this on social media, and it's just amazing to watch them go. I mean, it just reminds me of the old Rubik's Cube situation. I mean, I started on the Rubik's back when they first came out in Canada years and years ago. But, I mean, watching some of those kids nowadays solve them things in split seconds.
5-10 seconds, they're done. So this year, kind of our theme actually is the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons and the 40th anniversary of Rubik's Cubes and Tetris. So you might see.
Oh,
those
sure. You had to put years on it. Thank you.
40s. Yeah, we're dating you, Quinn. Oh God. Yeah. Those are the anniversaries we're celebrating. You'll see some decor around the convention with those themes on it. Our poster, which is done by Joshua HFX, and again, it's hard to describe a poster over audio, but it's on our social media too. You can go check out the poster. It's incredible. It's a dragon with a Tetris cubes around him, and he's holding a Rubik's Cube, and he's breathing fire, and you got to go check out this poster by Joshua HFX, and he's one of the vendors too that's coming back. So check him out for sure.
Now, one thing, of course, anytime we chat and we talk about events, volunteers and sponsors.
Volunteers and sponsors really, really help make this thing happen. YCON is entirely not-for-profit and volunteer-run by an incredible board of directors and executive committee. And then we have the volunteer demand this year has been amazing. We have over 50 people that have planned to volunteer for this weekend for the event. And I mean, I can't say enough to all the people that love this event.
But you need a team.
You do. You absolutely do. I could never do this event on my own. And, it's just too much work. There's so many parts to it. Gaming, sponsorship, vendors, marketing, the events, everything has a piece. Tech, to make all this stuff run behind the scenes. The tech that's needed for MC Media to make the Mariners games happen, make everything happen. And it's so appreciated. We can't do it enough. We can't do it without volunteers. And sponsors, like you said, play a super, super key part. So we'll give a quick shout out to our sponsors for this year. We have support from the province of Nova Scotia, of course our provincial government, which is awesome to see. All of our local municipal partners, like the town of Yarmouth, the municipality of the district of Yarmouth, and the municipality of Argyll. Shout out to my workplace, Yarmouth and Acadian Shores Tourism, too.
If you hadn't have done that.
I know, that wouldn't have been that good. Coming on board to help promote the event and support it, which is awesome. We have Tuscott Toyota on board, brand new sponsor this year. Thanks for coming on board. Cooperators Insurance, Gator Bite, like I mentioned earlier. Gator Bite's our supplier of the puzzles and helping with the puzzle competition, and they help source some of the VIP swag bag items.
Jen and Chris have always been great supporters.
Great supporters of YCON. They help support everything that we do, putting up posters in their store, always sharing stuff on social media. They helped us source a great VIP swag bag game this year, which I'm not going to spoil over audio. You got to get the VIP bag to get it. It's a really hot item, really cool board game coming this year. Ignite Labs downtown. Ignite has been really great in supporting what we do and helping us with some meeting space too. We need that in-person meeting space. WordCraft is a new sponsor for us this year, which is awesome. Shout out to Ingrid and her team. So WordCraft is a social media agency that's running out of Yarmouth downtown, and they do incredible work for some big name clients. And Ingrid started that business and doing great. So thanks again to WordCraft for coming on board. We have Coastal Financial Credit Union on board as well for the cosplay competition. They are our cosplay sponsors. And we also have Boston Pizza on board this year, which is great. They'll be right across from the Mariners Center. Great space to go.
How convenient.
Grab some food. So.
Well, not that everybody's tired of the rink fries, but you can only eat so many of them. You want to have options.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have speaking of Yarmouth Acadian Shores Tourism, we'll have some guides for 2024 around. We have our website, YarmouthAcadianShores.com. So you can go there. You can check out lots of different places to eat because there's a big diverse food scene in Yarmouth. Fish and chips. We have Blueberry Fields Cafe. Speaking of Blueberry Fields, they're coming on as a table sponsor as well. And Tuscott Forge is also a gaming table sponsor. So great support from a whole bunch of businesses around.
And not that there was any lack of parking and the like downtown, but certainly being at the Mariner Center does give you the advantage of a huge amount of parking out front. Yeah. It's a big building. It's certainly climate controlled. You've got the whole arena. Were you worried in looking at changing venues that you might not be able to fill the space?
Not really, actually. I was always pretty confident in filling the space. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be packed. Our floor plan is jam-packed of stuff to do. We're spilling over into the locker rooms for side rooms for gaming too. Who knows? It could be just a matter of time before we take over this whole place. You never know.
Well, there's a few more rooms left to go.
There's a few more rooms, but right now it'll be in Arena 1 and the side rooms, the locker rooms for side panels and side gaming. So yeah, that's the plan. Thanks again to the Mariners Center team for helping make it happen. Excited for this first year here, and this is going to be our home, right? This is the venue we're sticking with long term, and yeah, can't wait to make this thing happen.
Do you think that when you look ahead at the demographic that you're kind of attracting into, is it more the younger folks, or are you getting a broad stretch?
I think pretty broad. Yeah, we've seen even more adult attendees come out last year. I would say that the biggest demographic last year was in that probably 20 to 40 age range. That was probably making up about probably a good half of our attendee range.
Really? Wow.
I would say. Yep. Yeah, and a great mix though between male, female, everyone. Whatever. It's a little bit of something for everyone. No matter what you identify, we want to be a safe space for everybody in the LGBTQ plus community to come out, check out YCON, no matter what. This is a spot for anyone to come out, right?
Well, certainly when I started with Dungeons and Dragons back in the late 70s, early 80s, it was a much different attitude towards that sort of activity than it is today. And I guess when I look at the evolution of the space, it has become, of course, more inclusive.
Absolutely.
And a little bit more mainstream. But as you mentioned, this is a safe space.
Absolutely. This arena is safe for you to come into and have a good time. It's about putting smiles on people, right? The last, few years have been challenging. I remember last year we did this podcast and it was in the midst of the Nova Scotia wildfire weekend, which I still kind of, choke up about because I grew up in Shelburne. That's my home, and that community was so hard hit. But Yarmouth, we were able to continue with YCON safely, and so many people had a great, happy distraction for at least a few minutes, at least a few days. People
were encouraging you to continue.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I'm sure there was a point where you were thinking, "Geez, do we really?
It was
do
nerve-wracking.
this?"
The week of was definitely nerve-wracking on what we do. We consulted with local officials, and we were advised to proceed safely, of course. I do remember 2023. There was some smoke that blew in Friday night, and that happened. But other than that, the convention was, proceeded, and we had some people that were able to, like I said, displaced because of the fire, displaced from their home, come to YCON and just be like, this was needed. I needed a little de-stressor.
So looking ahead, I mean, you're always looking ahead, obviously, but what do you foresee as the evolution for YCON, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road?
I think the evolution of YCON is continuing to bring in new people to it. That's important. We want to and our repeat people so that you can experience this event and have a good time. Kick off the summer, right? So this year we're May 31st to June 2nd. So we want to kind of be that thing for, you kick off the summer before kids go away for the summer maybe. So it's expanding attendee numbers, making it not only, it's a combination of like a local and a out of town visitor experience. We want people to come across on the Cat Ferry, from Maine or Northeast US or wherever, and see this event. We want people from Halifax to come down, and we want people from our community to come and see it. So just continuing to broaden that. I think one of the most exciting areas of growth could be in our guests, which we're really kind of being able to get back into now. 2022 was tough with guests as we got back from the pandemic and still some travel restrictions, and we kind of had to reset and run the event again. YCON 2024 would have been the 6th YCON if the pandemic had not happened, which is crazy. But this is YCON 4 in 2024. Guests this year, we've got some coming, which is really cool. We've got comic book artists coming. We've got Sammy Francis. So Sammy's cover artist from Edmonton, actually coming all the way out.
Wow, that's great reach.
So that's really cool. She's part of GY6 Studios, and GY6 Studios has been another huge partner for this event. Shout out to them for helping make a lot of these guest appearances possible. So GY6 Studios is a studio that has a wealth of artists that you can go to maybe help with your project, design your next comic book. They're coming to the convention this year. So like I mentioned, we have Sammy Francis. She's coming from Edmonton. She has done work for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is very cool. And so you can check her out on her
that
website.
resonates with a lot of people, I'm sure.
That's going to resonate. We have Hal Hilden. He's a Blue Noser, currently living in St. John. So Hal's coming down with GY6 Studios, another comic book artist, and he's incredibly talented. He's a hoot. He loves going to all the conventions. That'll be great. Brianna June, another partnership with GY6 Studios. Comic illustrator from the East Coast, and she works on Archie comics.
So will they be doing like an art demo, or are they just going to be talking about their industry?
There's going to be a panel with the GY6 Studio artists, and then they'll be at their own little booth that you can go and you can see their work. You can purchase something from them, maybe get an autograph, take a picture, say hi.
Because typically when you got a panelist, that's what they're there for, and you don't get to meet them above and beyond the panel. So they're going to be at booths as well. Oh, so that's going to be really cool.
We've got guest booths for them. And we just announced today, on the day of recording here, we just announced Andrew Clark. He's coming. He's another comic book artist who works on cover work, Antarctic comics, and he's currently working on his own comic titled Adam, for mature readers only book. We've got the guests, and I mentioned earlier the Maritime Ghostbusters are coming from PEI. So that's a really cool guest lineup, and who knows, it could grow from there. I would love to see more game developers.
I was going to ask you, like, what you would, what your wish list is going to be for panelists down the road.
Yeah, I think where we focus really on the gaming and pop culture aspect of this convention, I'd love to see game developers and locals too, who are making their own game. I remember in 2019 and 2022, we had Josh Robertson, who's local, who's making board games. So those kind of panels would be great to see. We want to support our local community, and who knows? If you have a panel or guest suggestion, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Well, and that's one of the things too. It's all fine and good to see somebody that's quote unquote famous come in and chat and well known and demonstrate and the like. But it's also nice to be able to kind of close the loop and get somebody that's from the area. People would know or know their parents or whatever, and be able to make that connection and see them come in and talk about what they've been doing.
Yeah, it's incredible how much potential we have with the guest area. We want to show them a beautiful little slice of the world too. So many people haven't discovered Yarmouth yet, with our dark sky preserves, Cape for Shoe Lighthouse, the Acadian culture. Maybe try a Rappy Pie if you haven't yet, or Rapier.
Well, that was one of the things that I talked with your boss Neil about, on our Yasta conversation. In that, when we lost the boat, you had to kind of shift around a little bit and kind of market Yarmouth as a destination in order to get the tourists to continue to come in, because we didn't have the gateway that we normally would have been known as. Now that we've got the boat back in, it does give us that line to come in from the U.S. and go back to being able to draw people in from outside. When you're looking at Maine and Vermont and the like right there, do they have a con?
Yeah, there are main conventions. There's stuff in Boston, New York, Vermont, Montreal. And, we're kind of building our own reputation in the Maritimes. There's so many cons right here in our own backyard. There's HowCon, CaperCon, East Coast Comic Expo, Atlantic Expo, Geekwinox, KingCon in the Valley in Nova Scotia. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, HowCon's been around for how long? I know it's been reborn a bit, but...
Yeah. This current version of HowCon, as far as I know, has been around since 2010, 2009 or so. And they've been, phenomenal to see their growth in Halifax and what they're doing. Huge name guests. I think one year they had like Billy D. Williams was there. That's huge. That's so cool to see someone from Star Wars, right?
Social media, good, bad, ugly for you?
It's good. It's great. Yeah. We get a lot of engagement. People finding out about what the event is on our Facebook page, Instagram. We're online at yarmouthcon.com, YouTube now, and Snapchat. So you can find us in a variety of ways.
So remind everybody of the dates.
Yeah, so it's May 31st, June 1st, and June 2nd at the Mariners Center. Friday night, all day Saturday, and most of Sunday. And there's going to be so much to check out, like we've talked about. Gaming and panels and, vendors upon vendors. It's awesome.
Where can people find more information?
You can find out more on yarmouthcon.com. You can check out our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and that's where you can find the main info.
Given the move to the Mariners Center, we asked Nick Doucette, YCON's tech and video game coordinator, what that means for him.
It's great news. A lot of the tech does come from the Mariner Center as part of the the MC Media volunteer crew. So it is a great atmosphere, and also good that it is all in now one location and we don't have to move a lot of that tech from one place to another. So it is really exciting to see a much bigger venue as well, and hopefully a lot more fun.
Going to be able to do the video games on the big screen. That's got to be cool.
That's going to be really, really cool. The people being on stage, it's going to have very much kind of like a major appeal. So people going to 1,000 or 2,000 people arenas are used to seeing that, but not such a small area like this. So it'll be a much more, hyped up event in that regards to be able to see that and be able to put that on for such a small town.
What have you got planned for the live stream end of things?
There is a few events that are not video game oriented that we are going to live stream. There's a board game. I think Flamecraft is going to be there. We're going to live stream that. And I think there's some other few things that is not 100% confirmed at this point in time that are also going to be live streamed. A lot of it, though, we want you guys to come out and actually experience it. So it won't be live streamed, but we are going to be live streaming a few events. Cosplay is definitely going to be something really cool to see all of that. That will absolutely be live streamed as well.
Well, one of the things I think everybody can attest to, just from the hockey games in general that go on at the Mariner Center, nothing beats the live environment.
Absolutely. It is nice to be able to allow people from remote areas to kind of see what's going on and see what's happening, but it's always best to actually come out in person and have fun.
And then, of course, it'll be archived on the MC Media YouTube channel, right?
Actually, it won't be MC Media's YouTube channel. YCON has their own, so it will be on YCON's YouTube channel where all the archives that will be. I'm still working out a few details of other side things that may be happening that MC Media might be involved, not confirmed yet, but YCON has their own Twitch, they have their own YouTube, and I think probably 100% of everything will live on there.
So what's going to be new for 24 from 23 now that you've got that change of venues? What have you been able to do different?
A lot more vendors. So we have over 40 vendors. You should talk to Dean with the vendor coordinator on that. So a lot more vendors, a lot more space. We have a few new events that have been announced, which is speed puzzling. I'm excited about that. We're going to have a chess tournament this time around. So we're trying to do new and exciting things for the gaming community that are normally not things that you see around.
And in talking with Malcolm, he said something about Tetris?
Tetris, it is the anniversary of Tetris this year, so we are going to have, classic Tetris there, and there's going to be some events that are going to be Tetris-based. That's going to be fun to see.
Now, in watching some of the competitive Tetris online, they've all got a stock, like the same thing all the way through, but that's really hard to replicate, is it not?
It is. Competitive Tetris over the years and even over the past couple of months, you've seen the shift of the old from the young, and the amount of competitiveness specifically for Classic Tetris is in its own whole world. We do know there's not a lot of competitive Tetris players probably in the community, so our events that are going to be Tetris-based aren't going to be super, super competitive, but we're going to be able to show you kind of like what competitive Tetris is and what it's all about. A shout out to the World Tetris Championships, which is the week after YCON. It's going to be hosted in California this year. They normally host it around September, October. They've changed venues and changed everything, and the World Tetris the World Classic Tetris Championships will be held a week after YCON. I'm excited to watch that.
Now, for Smash Brothers, you've had Y-Town Smash, Digby's got its own thing, Halifax has its own thing. Has that really helped up the game for that?
It has. Y-Town Smash was a community that was built on after YCON occurred in 2023. So we hosted a Smash tournament in 2023 at YCON, and then we had 32 competitors, and then a small subset of competitors decided to start their own community to keep that going. A bunch of us went to Kings of Halley in Halifax months afterwards. And we liked it so much that we started our own community and started that competition going locally to kind of get better, to compete more, and it allowed us to get some extra people from the Digby area. There's a few from the Barrington area, I know, and a few from up the line as well. So we've started that community. We're going to continue that community going and hopefully grow it some more, even after YCON. And it should grow into its own thing and hopefully become better over the period of time that we're doing it.
So beyond Mario Kart, of course, and the Smash Brothers, there's a bunch of other video game oriented competitions on the go too, is there not?
There's one other. We're going to have Rocket League this year. Rocket League is a competitive game. It's going to be a smaller-esque because we're just starting it off, but we're also going to have Pokemon. So we're going to have the Pokemon video game and a Pokemon tournament rolling around that. So there's really just 4 main competitions for video games. We're going to have Smash Brothers, we're going to have Mario Kart, we're going to have Pokemon, and we're going to have Rocket League. So as time goes around, if there's more interest, and of course we need organizers to organize these things. It isn't, you need to have somebody to kind of run with that to organize it in order to make these things happen. As much as I'm the coordinator, I don't play Rocket League, and I don't really play Pokemon competitively as much to kind of organize those things. So we have members of our community that are organizing those tournaments that we can host at our con. So if there's anybody out there that's like, oh, I want to see this video game played, contact us, and hopefully we can get a competition going where when you attend the con, it will be there.
I'm Gary Nickerson,
And I'm Quinn Taggart.
and this has been Outside My Window.